Videology, you've actually had some partnerships. You are, you know, sort of partnering with Comcast, right? So indirectly with FreeWill as well. You're partnering with Mediaocean. You know, you guys sort of have this through the line from the buy side through the sell side integrated platform. Tell me a little bit about what are you? Are you a programmatic platform? Are you a marketplace? Are you a DSP? Are you, I mean, like, how can you really be all things to everybody?
Well, I don't think we're trying to be all things to everybody, but we are trying to add value through the agency workflow and through the pre-planning and planning, optimization and allocation and transactions of media through that workflow.
Okay.
And so, you know, so that's why some of the partnerships you talked about are very important to us. So, you know, obviously the world of programmatic and addressable media is growing exponentially, which we love. It's central to our business. It's amazing. But it's growing to be an ever bigger silo, right? So you know, really our job is to encourage the growth of, and to be a part of the growth of both the addressable business and the programmatic business, but at the same time use these partnerships and tools to help our customers optimize across the entire inventory pool from linear to programmatically traded media.
So I want to just latch on to sort of the way that you answered that, right? Because to what I'm hearing in your words is, you know, the automation and the workflow side of it, et cetera, if we talk about efficiency and delivery of media, you know, it sounds like a lot of what your perspective or Videology's perspective in the market is there's a lot of opportunity for efficiency improvements in just the workflow and the business processes and the transactional side of it, right?
Well, there is, but really that is, so that is true, but really at the end of the day, that is about improved ROI, right? So when you have a workflow that supports the optimization and allocation across screens, you get significantly better ROI. And we see that, right? You see it in any study that anybody in this room has done. When we target somebody addressably, right, we see 2, 3, whatever X lift in performance.
Right.
When we target somebody in multiple screens versus on one screen, so the second or third impression on the second or third screen versus 3 impressions on the primary screen adds exponential value to ROI, right? The sequencing of when frequency rolls out across a time frame in certain categories can have a huge impact on ROI. So, you know, if I'm buying soap, I would rather, you know, it's better for me to show you an impression twice a week over the month versus 8 impressions inside a week. So all those things matter, and so what we're trying to do, because so much of the impression pool is driven by linear television today, we can use our tools and partnerships to help optimize what is still on the other end of that in the programmatic world. We can help to kind of bring those things together to drive better decisioning across the entire ecosystem. So us supporting a workflow is partly about we can make it more efficient, but at the end of the day, it's about how we improve ROI for brand advertisers.
Of course. I mean, I think and this is why, you know, all the stuff that you and your brethren are doing in the marketplace is critical, but I think again, I keep sort of the construct of the buy and the sell side, right? Let's move upstream to the sell side, right? The content owners. And even distribution in some regards. Like, I think one of the challenges is that if you compare traditional media, linear, and even VOD to digital, it's a 5-10x cost of servicing that business, right? And if we look at programmatic as, you know, a new channel of fulfillment, right? Because it's technically a new tech stack. It's only increasing the cost of doing business if we look at digital holistically, right? So how do we mitigate for that? Like, how do we mitigate that as there's an evolution of new tools and, you know, like yours that are end to end?
So
how do we make it better?
So there's 2 themes in that I want to pick up. So the first theme is, I agree with you, there is a massive amount of kind of programmatic point solutions popping up, which, you know, making it more complicated to realize the efficiency and the value of programmatic. Then, you know, so that's happening. No agency can deal with 65 different programmatic point solutions. So on that side, what I would like to say is that's a central thesis of why we've developed a platform that is supporting end-to-end workflow, but it's an open platform, right? Open to data, open to technology, open to supply. Right? So we're not trying to own an end-to-end tech stack, and I think that's one of the opportunities we see for our business relative to some of the big media owners that are building tech stacks. You know, there's a walled garden thing going on with some of these things where we're trying to kind of get tied into a kind of ecosystem, you know, into a media and technology ecosystem. We're not in that. We're providing an open platform that allows the advertiser and the customer to plug in whatever they want.
Okay, but let's be really specific about that, because I think this is part of the demystification of the business, right?
Yeah.
So you have an end-to-end solution that's open. So that means you have your own ad server, but you'll work with any third-party ad server.
Right.
But there is fundamentally, theoretically, a performance or economic incentive to use your ad server, of course, right? That would be the sales proposition.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
No.
Does your ad server perform more efficiently because it's integrated in your system than a freewheel or a DoubleClick would?
No, we love freewheel. So
Okay.
there is really that, and that's the way our economic models are set up, our commercial models are set up.
Okay.
Agnostic to supply, agnostic to technology, agnostic to data.
Okay, so can we just talk about your technology suite? So you have a supply side platform, obviously for publishers, right? You are the marketplace. You have an ad server. Do you have a DMP?
We have no, it's not a specialism of ours. So we manage data, but I wouldn't ever want to compete with a real DMP.
Okay, and now sort of on the buy side, that's where you guys are really investing heavily with your partnerships and things like that, right?
Yeah. So so the way you characterize it, it's partly true. We have a platform that we think has applications on the buy side and applications on the sell side. So you say that's a DSP, an SSP, whatever. We say we have one platform that,
Right.
that can add value across both sides of the transaction.
I mean, I think it's really meaningful because, and I apologize if sort of make it germane and oversimplify it, but I think it's such a complex space now. I mean, do you see yourself, is programmatic evolving into sort of more solutions-based selling? Like, are you selling technology? Or are you selling a business solution? Like, how is the marketplace evolving into how you need to respond to what the business use cases are, and most importantly, what the KPIs are for your technology and tools?
Yes, at the end of the day, our best sell is when we're selling ROI,
Yep.
and we're selling an end solution, and the path to get that is to buy our technology. And
so is ROI for you cost reduction typically? Is it a cost base? Is margin the way, and cost reduction the way that typically your customers are measuring the success of the platform?
it's performance. So again, that's where we talk about the integrations and the partnerships. So we're looking and we have extended to a lot of closed loop measurement from within the platform. So our Nielsen Catalina integration, our dunnhumby integration, our MasterCard integration inside the platform. All these things are about getting to closed loop measurement. So we're really, our goal there is to be selling improved ROI by using our platform to manage across the entire set of inventory pools.
Okay. Tim, thank you. I know you sort of prefaced by saying you're new on the job, but and I'm sorry that, and Ackerman will tell you he knows me, but I think it's really important because these are really hard questions that when you're on a panel of 15 people, you can't sort of get to what the nuts and bolts are. So thank you for answering them so candidly. I appreciate it.
Very good.